man, this wig is too blonde. I'm going to need to work on this a little bit.
Just put some, just get like a spray can, just go.
I actually think I will.
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly.
I don't know if it'll melt like Rudy Giuliani style as we talk, but I might try to spray it.
I don't think you're going to be desperately sweating as much as Rudy Giuliani does. Although I don't know. I can't speak for your sweat status.
I don't know.
Who am I to speak for thine sweat?
I'm a bit of a Rudy.
Ew.
Yeah.
Don't tell your husband.
Let's never talk about Rudy Giuliani again during ACOTAR.
I'm like nauseous right now because we're talking about him.
See, that's my game. Now I'll try to make you back to aroused with our episode.
That's what we like to do here at ACOTAR. Take you from nauseous, turn it back around into aroused, and then scare all of your partners away because they're like, I don't know what to do with you.
And maybe
I don't know where your head is at.
Develop some weird fetishes, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Some nausea fetishes?
Ugh, I
love having a puke time.
You know that people have that.
Oh, for sure. You're right. You know what? I'm sorry. No kink shame. No kink shame.
No,
I
will shame it. That's fine to
I feel like
shame.
just make sure your eyes are closed and that your mouth is closed. Aroused from nauseous to aroused.
I am.
The Natalie Jean story.
Okay, so
Are you scared of me? For you see, I have sex with my brother.
Oh, you better explain what that means.
Oh, should I? All right.
Especially to those not watching the video of this.
I'm Branach. Although even if you looked at the video, I don't think that you could tell who I am. I tried to be Branach. But I don't even know how to say her name, so maybe
I think you're like a very good Branach based on the little bits of art that we've received of her.
Yeah.
She's pale-skinned and dark hair.
Pale-skinned, dark hair. She's
beautiful.
very becloaked a lot. I wanted to bring a lot. I brought some cloak action in here today.
But I
not
like
cloaca, cloak, very different.
Little skin showing.
Yeah, just a little top breast. Oh, just the top, for you cannot handle the whole jug.
Is that what you say to Dagden?
Yes, my brother lover.
You're twinsy.
Don't have sex with Henry, even though we're like comedy twins. You know, we're not real twins. We're comedy twins. Very different than real twins.
Yeah, I could see you guys as fraternal twins.
Yeah, we could have that. It's the nose. It's all in the nose. Everyone says you guys don't look the same. And I was like, it's all in the nose.
Yeah, and then you say it's all in the nose with that voice, and everybody's like, stop talking about
and I
it.
go, yeah, it's all in the nose.
Oh, it's a cocaine joke.
I guess, but neither one of us do cocaine.
No. No. Maybe,
No, we're just naturally like this.
I guess you could be really cool and metal and do like snort your aspirin that way.
Yeah, that's true. Like were you one of the pixie snicks? Were you a snickser?
I don't know what that.
You ever used to? I used to snort. I used to be the one that I pay you $1 to snort an Altoid, and I would snort an Altoid. I was that person.
Doesn't that hurt?
Yeah, but it gives you a rush.
Really?
Yeah, it really does. Like it hurts your brain. It makes you like almost see stars for a second. And then I was like, no wonder I did so many drugs. I was the one. I was snorting Adderall. Well, I was doing that. I was doing that. But also pixie sticks.
Oh. Okay, well,
Gives
let's
you a
not get
shot.
into any more of what we've done and not done in our 20s.
Can you die from? No, that was high school. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, me too.
No, I meant the pixie sticks and the Altoids.
Okay.
But
Okay,
yeah,
wait.
no, we're clean. Huh? I'm clean, except for my brain. My brain's
As I just
she got too excited,
rattled my
she
coffee
just
around.
squirted her liquids out.
Whoopsie. We'll worry about that later. Okay, wait. So hear me
Also,
out.
I feel like I never speak to the people that are not watching my gallon of coffee that I've got my special cup that takes 2 cans of coffee.
It's a lot. Really.
Don't worry, there's water too.
Looks like you're at Oktoberfest right now. Have you heard of Tony Muffad?
No.
He is one of the people who gets thrown out as a Reese.
Okay.
And he is quite handsome, I will say.
Okay. Well, let me see about that. Whoa. Whoa, Babbo, I'm in trouble. You know that is what the bus driver says in Hocus Pocus towards the witches, because now Jeff and I quote that to each other all the time. Babbo, I'm in trouble. I want to have sex with this person consensually. And if this person is Reese, okay.
Yeah, you guys check him out and give us your thoughts on what you think of him. He is a beautiful man.
Wow.
Also a really gifted artist, but he's mostly a model. And he's like 30, so it's like an appropriate age.
Wow.
Because I think some of the other people okay, all right, calm down.
He is an respectfully very attractive human being.
Yeah. He has a Reese vibe, I will say. If nothing else, he could also be, I think, an Asriel. He's got the moody eyes.
Although I don't know if he's in my brain. Asriel's like more like bigger and more like a Greek god.
This guy's pretty tall and big.
Oh yeah. How big is he? Oh, he's tall and big too. You just from nauseated to aroused, the Natalie Jean story. Thank you so much. Yes, he's 6'2". Yes, he is big. Oh, he's German.
He's German in, I think, Persian.
Wow.
Okay, so that's just one of the people that's been thrown out. So just, guys, check it out, see what you think. So let's get back into the story.
Okay, now that I'm ready, even though this isn't like necessarily a horny part.
It's not, and actually, Rhysand's not really in this episode, unfortunately.
No, that's why I'm becloaked.
Because you're in mourning?
I'm in mourning for my bat boys. There's very little amount of bat boys in this episode.
But you can think about them and imagine them.
Okay.
Yeah. So we return. This is back to where Feyre it is now the summer solstice, the second one. And if you recall, the first one was a very magical time for Feyre because it was where she finally let herself go and danced to the fiddle. Remember the
he
fiddles?
was fiddling all about.
And she drank the drink that made her all high. And she danced. And then she kissed him at the dawn. Much of it looks the same as last year, but there is, of course, a change. Ianthe is here now.
This biatch.
And she wants things done a little differently. Much like our religious holidays that have merged pagan and Christian beliefs, she wants everyone to be sad and miserable before they can have a party. So this year, they will be partaking in a religious tradition amongst the priestesses, where everyone has to get up before dawn and stand in a field.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
To be honest, I think it would be rad to do a summer ritual where people watch the sunrise.
Sure.
But she's not doing it for thanks or love or joy.
I feel like you do that after you've partied all night long. And then everyone stays up, you watch the sunrise, and then the celebration is over.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Yeah, which is what they kind of did last year. Because if you recall, like her and Tamlin went into the field and did their little slow dance, and they watched the field with the creatures go like, and it was like magical, and they watched the sunrise. But this year they're starting with the sunrise, and she's not really doing it for anything other than herself. She wants to make herself look important, and Feyre can see right through her.
Just bring in your Boros Snoros in here.
Yep. Feyre wonders whether the summer court's summer solstice is similar and laments over how her budding friendship turned out with Tarquin, the Lord, because as you recall, she has a blood ruby out for her.
Yeah. But he's so cute.
He is.
In my brain, he's very cute.
And a good man.
Yes.
A good male.
Also a good male. Thank you. Not a human.
Yeah, not a human. Never a human. So
Not like us.
Us boring, stupid
No,
humans.
not right now. I'm Branagh.
Yeah, you're Branagh. While she worries about this retaliation from the summer court, still, she remembers that he has yet to actually provide information to the spring court about the night court visit. So it's not totally a wash yet because he could have already sold all this information to the spring court.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Alice,
Barkface.
yes, has been in a bit of the know about Feyre's deeds, she also has kind of helped her, without saying it, helped her like craft this look for herself. So she helps her find this white cloak and white flowers to put in her hair.
She like Natalie Jean.
Oh, me? I feel so weird in this white dress. I don't, it's like not me at all.
It doesn't make you feel more pure.
No. I think that ship sailed a long time ago. Nice. And yeah, cool. I'd had sex.
Yeah. My brother's her husband.
Yep. And
not Dagden, though.
Before I was a virgin.
Yes. And as we had to make sure.
Oh, yeah, you did the premarital exam?
Yeah.
So, I mean, even my wedding dress wasn't white like this. So,
hell yeah.
I guess in ballets I've worn white. Anyway, so yes, she's riding in on the ceremonial white horse. She's a real angel.
Mm-hmm. In devil's shadows. If I had wanted to paint a picture of serene purity, it would have been the image I cast that morning. My hair braided above my head, a crown of white hawthorn blossoms upon it. I dabbed rouge onto my cheeks and lips, a slight hint of color, like the first blush of spring across a winter landscape.
An angel.
Oh my God, you're so breathy. You must be pure now. That's how you know if someone's pure, if they talk like that. That's when you go, oh yeah, that breathiness of an angel, huh? Yes.
That sounds like a snake.
Yeah. It's because I'm in the cloak.
A virginal snake.
Aw, cute.
Yeah. She rides to the site in the fields of the spring court where Ianthe has set up this altar, which, despite her best effort, sounds pretty rad. Like this flower altar set up at the dawn. They all gather for the sunrise to signify the beginning of summer. So it's like Tamlin and like some of his court and some of the sentries and stuff. And Tamlin looks longingly at Feyre here, and I almost feel bad for him.
Almost.
Her in this white dress with the wedding fiasco, plus he's probably remembering the joy they had last year at the other one. And so he was so happy and sweaty and sexy last time.
Man, fiddling all about.
Now he's all dry and frowny.
Not fiddling.
Not fiddling. Nah. In ACOTAR, she was a child, and now she is a queen.
Mm-hmm. A high lady of the night court.
And Feyre almost also feels pity for him here because he is pitiful.
Yeah.
But then recalls all of the foolish and self-serving decisions he's made in the last year, and the pity party is over.
I love what Moss has done with Tamlin. I love that, like, you hate him, but then there's just these moments where you're just like, oh, you're just misguided, and you thought that was right, and it really, really wasn't. And I know that we shouldn't feel bad for him, but then these times where I'm just like, man, that's gotta suck.
Yeah, she does like help ride that line of you almost wanted to villainize him, and then he's not really. Like, there's like redeeming moments. He does the save the cat over and over, but then like kind of like kicks the cat, and then he like saves the cat again, which is abuse.
It is abuse. No, it's a cycle of abuse easily.
But he also isn't a monster. He really isn't. And there are these moments where, like, yes, he deserves this, but I do feel sad for him because he does desperately love her, and he's trying to appease her, and she's just like, I'm gonna destroy you from the inside.
You bitch, you don't even know.
You don't even know. So Ianthe begins her little song and dance as the gray light is starting to show, as the Hibernian creep twins sneer at everyone.
Ah, yes, we have sex with each other.
That's
what they say. That's all Brannock says.
Yes.
It's just really I thought that they were just going to keep like intimating about the fact that like maybe the twins have sex with each other, but they just straight up just like, they fuck.
Pretty much.
Oh, they have sex with each other.
We see in the scenes coming forward, they are sort of like preying on people together, so God knows what they're doing in there.
I mean,
in that tent. In that private tent they have.
Yeah, just like butt up next to everybody. I ignored the royals as Ianthe lifted her hands and called to the crowd behind us.
A blessed solstice to us all.
Oh, shut up.
Ugh. She follows with a bunch of sanctimonious rituals, like pouring stuff. She spins in a circle. She talks down to everybody and like does gestures. And then she comes to a part that Feyre has learned of already, since Feyre suddenly is extremely interested in assisting Ianthe with preparations. Ianthe instructs Tamlin and Jorian to stand at her side as the sun just begins to crest the horizon. That leaves Lucien and Feyre alone, with Ianthe's intentions to leave them to the side of the trio of powerful fae. So in Ianthe's mind, she's like brought the Lord and the Hibernians to her side for this thing. She's the spectacle she's about to pull off.
Oh, get over yourself, bitch.
But Feyre has already realized that this is a ploy by her to do a bit of performance art to benefit herself. She has gone out of her way to make herself look very special in this moment, even pulling her hood down to reveal her long blonde hair for this moment. She goes to a spot flanked by these powerful males, Jorian and Tamlin, and upraises her arms. It's very pointed where she's standing. Her little choir girl acolytes have placed a rock previous to this ceremony for her to stand specifically in the right spot. But she doesn't want people to know that. She wants this big reveal to be this stunning magical entrance.
The sun rose, a held, gilded note echoing through the land. The crowd began to murmur, then cry out.
Oh!
Not at Ianthe, but at me. At me, resplendent and pure and white, beginning to glow with the light of the day as the sun's path flowed directly over me instead. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. You thought you were going to get that light. You're not going to get that light. It doesn't shine through you. It shines through another bitch. That's what you get, Ianthe.
Oh my, me?
Yeah. What? Am I so powerful?
Oh my goodness.
I love it. What a slappity slap in the face.
That's because Feyre knew of Ianthe's plan and has ever so slightly moved the marker using Tamlin and Helian's wind powers while nobody was looking. So she just slid the rock a little bit over for Ianthe.
It's such like a
fuck you,
fun thing to do.
It's a very like mean girl, like Real Housewives. You can see them doing
but also gaslighting the hell out of everybody. Yeah. Feyre is totally just I was like, what? Did the rock? No, the rock couldn't have moved. You must have been wrong.
The sun must have moved for me. So it's funny too. The visual is very funny because Ianthe doesn't notice, so she's still standing in the dark like this,
arms up, just being like, "I'm the queen of it all."
And then she turns around and realizes everyone's staring at Feyre and gawking. She's like in the dark.
Yeah, but you learned that first thing in theater school. Find your light,
Find
bitch.
Your light.
Find that light.
Ugh. So, not satisfied with this slap alone, Feyre unleashes her day court light and lights up like a lantern.
Sick.
She acts shocked, and Ianthe has to be like, wow, just like I planned for it. I wanted her to glow. Oh, I did it. The people are stunned and begin to whisper, blessed, curse breaker. Feyre's like, oh, well, I suppose.
I think if everyone was like murmur chanting my name, I think that I would slip off of the rock. Like I'd just be like, yes, I'd be so powerful that I'd just like be wet, you know?
You're right. I
am a blessed curse breaker.
It's like choke.
You got so excited you choked. You're like Wendy.
My throat's so tiny.
When she drinks water too fast, then she goes,
It's because she's so dainty like me.
I love Wendy.
I do too.
Just talking about dogs.
I miss her. I wish she was here.
Yeah, she would have a lot to add to this.
She would.
I don't think Auntie Jackie should be making jokes about fucking daddy. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm sorry, Wendy.
Then I have to have a big conversation with her about sex and like what consent is.
You haven't had that conversation with her yet?
She's not thinking about sex. She's only like 55 years old.
Yeah, you're right. They stop. We're going to stop in a couple of years.
No, she hasn't started yet.
She hasn't started yet. Well, you know what? Different strokes.
Yep.
Gava.
Gava. Feyre reaches toward Lucien in this moment, and though he's unaware of her plan, he just wants to get under Ianthe's skin, and it's enough for him to drop to his knee and bring her hand to his brow.
Sick. I love that he falls in line where he's like, yeah, no, we saying fuck Ianthe right now? Yeah, sure, yeah.
And that is awkward. And all the others in attendance also go to their knee, and everyone's just like revering.
Praising her, like the beginning of Lion King.
Yeah.
When I looked to Ianthe and smiled again, I let a little bit of the wolf show. She looks pure, but she's dirty at a core.
Mm-hmm. So the rest of the solstice celebration is
said it like that. I just yucked myself
Jersey
out.
Shore.
Yeah, it's we've been watching a lot of Jersey Shore on Thursdays, and we're into Jersey Shore Family Vacation now.
Oh, wow. You're doing all of them.
Oh, we're doing all of it. You know what's great? The Jersey Shore Family Vacation.
Really?
Yep.
Have they matured?
No. But they all have kids.
God. Are they still like doing the fist pump bar stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
And trying not to cheat on their partners.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'm in for that.
Yeah, you can look, but you can't touch. Get crazy, get wild, get crazy, get wild. You want to have something, do something crazy. Man, you're not watching enough Jersey Shore.
I guess so. The rest of Solstice celebration is akin to last year's, with parties and hobnobbing and canoodling.
Yes, please.
Well, not with Feyre and Tamlin this time, but presumably the other Fae are doing kissing. Mm-hmm. I would just assume. Feyre steals away at one point and manages to get some mental pictures of what happened to Rizan down the bond. He laughs and they share that they wish that they could spend this day together.
Aww.
It brings a heaviness to her heart, but she pushes it aside because she has issues to attend to.
She's a wolf in sheep's
She's a wolf. As the Fae dance and drink and laugh, she shyly approaches Tamlin. Will you dance with me? Yeah.
I'm not hard.
I feel the cringe, as everyone on the internet says.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, of course I will dance with you. So they get into the swing, and then it slows down to a waltzy kind of dance, like a slow dance. And so she like leans in and does like the stuff against his chest, and she like wants to barf, but she puts on all of the masks and continues her facade. She makes him believe that she's warming up to him. Because, of course, she has used the excuse of her kidnapping trauma being the reason she doesn't want to be touched romantically. And since Tamlin is never really a full villain, he is very patient and understanding about this. Because it would have been really hard to root for him if he was getting shitty about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But he is being very just like loving and kind, being like, that's okay. You know, like
Giving
take
her
your time.
space and giving her time, because this is a lot that's going on. Man, I feel like I don't use my wiles enough. I've never seduced for a ploy before.
Are you going to do it now that you're married?
I think that it's more difficult. I guess you can only turn that towards your partner then. Maybe I should start seducing him more, just like taking out my breast and being like, what do you say about going out tonight now?
To Jeff?
Yeah.
Just like popping it out?
Yeah, just like taking out my breast and being like, my breasts, are you wooed?
Subtle.
I don't know. Everyone likes me because I'm usually subtle.
The subtle one.
And I'm just really like skirt around things. So mysterious.
Yes.
Like always mysterious. And but I think that I should be seducing more.
Wear the cape and no top underneath it.
That's a great idea. And then I'll just be sweating just because it's hot out. And it's like, I don't know why I've got this cape on.
Because you're being mysterious.
Because I'm mysterious. Ooh, what's underneath?
Well, I hope that goes well for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even in this moment of spell casting over Tamlin, she can't help but think about Rizan and wonder how he could have endured touching Amarantha for 5 decades.
Ugh.
Which is so sad.
It's so sad.
They get food together, her and Tamlin, and they sit under a tree watching the merriment. And she admits to herself that it is beautiful to watch this and how she can't believe he would throw this all away, giving this land to Highburn, all for a woman who did not want to be returned.
Yeah, dude.
Later in the evening, she notices Tamlin giving her those hungry eyes.
Even though he's more like a hungry hippo. Chomping at her balls.
And so she excuses herself. She leaves after midnight to return to her room, though the party will continue on for many hours, just like last year. So Tamlin has to kind of stay there as the High Lord to be present for his people. And she's like, I'm tired. And she leaves. Kind of, I think, maybe to escape giving a kiss.
To like a late night, like, oh, I walk you to your room kind of thing.
Yeah. So if you'll recall last year, she stayed up with Tamlin until the sunrise and then kissed them. Mm-hmm. She has other plans this year.
Man, a lot has changed in a year.
Really has.
I changed into my nightgown, a small, lacy thing I'd once worn for Tamlin's enjoyment, and now was glad to don thanks to the day's sweat still clinging to my skin, and flopped into bed.
And then she goes into like a series of fitful sleeps. And the first time I read this, I thought her nightmares were real here. But now reading it, I realize she was forcing her worst memories to the surface, like you do to get yourself like worked up in an acting scene.
Find your light.
Find your light. Because woo, does she have something up her damn sleeve?
Oh,
this trifling woman is like, oh no, I had a sexy nightmare. Tamlin's still down at this party, but somebody else went to bed early because he's now a mated male. And he didn't want to go trollop around.
No, he did not. And also probably trying to keep away from Ianthe as well.
Yes. And so she is all worked up in this sweaty nightmare, and she goes across the hall and knocks on the door.
I swallowed, a silent question on my face, and he nodded, retreating into the room to let me inside. Bare from the waist up, he'd managed to haul on a pair of pants before opening the door and hastily buttoned them as I strode past.
Ooh.
Oh, this was definitely the scene where I was like, okay, Lucien. Okay, I see you. I see you, mated male. Okay.
And boy, there must be some fanfic about this scene.
Ooh.
I did a tertiary glance, a preliminary glance
fanfic about the scene
for research purposes. Only,
for research purposes.
And found more about them after Under the Mountain. But yes, there's a lot of sex scene fanfic between the two of them. Poor Lucien is in the crosshairs here. Like, he is just being used and abused at this moment. He, of course, comforts her. She's starting to cry. And though he doesn't jump to, like, give her a hug as he is topless, and it's a little awkward, when she flings herself at him, he lets her stay there and weep. And brings a hand to her back to kind of like stroke her as she's crying.
This is what made me fall in love with Lucien, because of how he treats her in this scene. And he's very noble, and he's very like, he just wants to comfort a friend who has come to him, and he doesn't make it into anything else. Although, again, I'll read that fanfic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you give me some of that fanfic.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, also, you know, he's mated to her sister, so he better not be a bitch to her. Mm-hmm. So, excuse me while I adjust my wig. I got this flower crown at Ren Fair, and it's really cute, but it is crumbling slowly all over me.
Dried flowers?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll show you how to make one. Our friend B showed me how to make flower crowns, and they're actually much easier to make than you'd think.
Well, I would love to, because there's more flower crowns in these books.
Yes.
So she starts to weep, and as he's like comforting her, and except it's not actual tears. She's using Tarquin's power to cry seawater.
Crocodile tears.
And thank God white women tears can't be summoned from the ocean, because they're already dangerous enough.
Oh, I can cry at the drop of a hat, dude.
But you usually don't do it when you want to speak to a manager, so that's good. You're usually very not like that.
No, I get upset about how much I cry.
And then you cry about it?
And then I cry about that, and then I go to therapy, and I cry about it in there, and, you know, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's not that I have too many emotions, it's that I just have a lot of emotions.
It's good to have emotions.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think that you should cry right now. Cry!
She's beating me. Don't watch the video. She's beating me. I'm scared of Feyre. I'm just lonely Branagh having sex with my brother.
Is this supposed to endear people to you?
Yeah, because it's like, oh, she's so sad. She must be so twisted in the brain that she has sex with her brother. You can't also beat her, you know?
Oh, yep, that's logical. But it's cold-hearted doing this. But I know she has a purpose. She needs to do this. She tells him that she's having nightmares about Under the Mountain. And that's not entirely a lie. She does still have those dreams, but they aren't like before where she's barfing through the night and, she's actually sleeping. She's just having some bad dreams. Excuse me. She's also shielded the room so that Lucien won't sense that Tamlin is arriving because he is. This plan is diabolical because to Lucien, it would make sense she's coming to him because she knows that Lucien went to bed early and since he's mated and isn't trying to get some of that strange out there. And so it's not weird that she would go to his room. But Tamlin, as the High Lord, would have still been down at the festivities. So if she had a nightmare, of course she would go to Lucien. But Feyre, crafty Feyre, has also been setting up the hope inside Tamlin that maybe she's ready to kiss.
And also, if these males had thought for a second, think about in the past, which was not that long ago, less than a year ago, when she was having these insane nightmares and not telling anybody about it. If they thought about this for more than a second, through any of the things that Feyre is doing, all of this gaslighting she's doing, if they thought about it for a second about who Feyre is as a human being, they'd be like, wait a second. Why is she coming to me now when she didn't come to me all those other times when she was puking and like genuinely upset all those times?
Well, and also he ignored her all the time when she was puking. So maybe that he would rationalize it as like I have to be different now. I have to like not ignore her.
Be better and like actually go to her room and try to fuck her in the middle of the night. Yeah,
like
not Lucien,
nobly.
Tamlin. Yes.
So she's been setting up with the stuff for Tamlin. She's like the slow dance was like the first time they've really like touched bodies since then, and she was like brushing her hand along his shoulders and like giving him little flirty glances.
Oh yeah, we're both. I'm so good at flirting. I'm just like, goo 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 boo. Do you like my boobs? And man,
Italian and a baby. Wow.
It's like I'm tapping into like the inner me, like at my core.
I mean, Jeff, that's obviously it worked on him.
That's how I got him. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Italian baby.
Oh, do you, mommy, you'll give me the bottle. That's me as an Italian baby.
The bottle of penis?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, I mean.
So she also knows that he's all horned up and he would come try to seek her out. And so probably assuming that she came up to bed early, he's like assuming, she is telling me to come to the room. But that's not what happens when he shows up because she is in Lucien's arms whenever she hears what's going on.
Bum, bum, bum.
Tamlin appears in the hallway just as Feyre and her sexy nightie is clinging to Lucien's bare chest in his bedroom. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, dude. Especially because the extra layer of her wearing the sexy nightie also probably intimates that, like, there's also part of it that's like, maybe she was waiting for me and I didn't get there fast enough, so she goes to Lucien instead, which just makes her a little horn dog.
Yeah, but it's already feeding into Tamlin's, like, he was already so jealous. Remember, like, he was feeling, even back in the beginning, he was a little concerned that she was paying too much attention to Lucien.
Yeah.
So,
which also, like, having a partner that does something like that, get over it. That kind of jealousy.
Oh, sure.
Yuck. That's so unattractive.
But he also, Lucien is a fine man, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of jealousy. I'm not saying that it should be devoid of it, but that of just like, you can't talk to him anymore.
But that is such correct. And Tamlin is that guy. He is the guy who gets like that, especially because like Lucien befriended Feyre first and also helped her under the mountain
when he didn't. Tamlin!
Oh. So he has every right to feel embarrassed and jealous because Lucien's kind of been way better to her in a lot of ways.
And he's got that hot ginger thing going.
Now he's all topless.
Ooh.
Feyre.
I bet he's all, think of how muscly he is. I'm going to just keep looking at Tony, my food.
Well, he doesn't look like a Lucien. But...
No, he doesn't, but he's just giving me a visual.
So
just a horny. That's what I need to have. I just need to have constant horny visuals pulled up on my computer so that I can look at that and go, whoa,
yeah,
mambo, bombo, get me that snake. It's like a mamba.
I thought you were going to start doing Mambo number 5 with all the characters.
Oh my God,
from ACOTAR.
yes!
A little bit of Lucien in my life.
Yeah.
A little bit of Rison in my guts.
My guts. Wow, he reaches all the way to your guts, eh?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Bobble, bobble.
Oh my God. So Feyre jumps away as though she's feeling really guilty, and she goes like, "Oh, Tamlin, hi. I was just having a nightmare." And, overacting it. And Tamlin's seething, but she kind of just pulls him by the arm and takes him out of Lucien's room and shuts the door. But then she also shuts her door on Tamlin.
Yeah, dude.
Which is just like so cold.
Just him standing alone in the hallway. She's like, oh, what? Oh.
To her credit, she does at least wait until she's made sure Tamlin left the hallway and doesn't go in and immediately try to murder Lucien. And then after she hears him leave the hall, she smiles to herself in her room.
A nightmare, I told Tamlin. I was the nightmare. Oh, biatch.
So she knows she just set off a chain of thoughts in Tamlin, considering every interaction between she and Lucien. Again, he was jealous even back at the beginning and fought for her way harder under the mountain. And almost like he's
Tamlin
being more
just stood there and watched.
Yeah. Although, for whatever reason, I still feel like the Feyre Lucien fanfic should be more like Feyre's dominating Lucien a little bit, subbing.
Yeah, because she's in charge.
Like right now, she is like bulldozing this court, so I feel like their fanfic should sort of reflect that.
Well, I feel like it would start in the sex where he's comforting her, and then it starts from that, and then she just takes control, but he understands that she's had a lot of trauma, and he's not usually into that all the way, but he's into it with her, and so then she holds him against the bed. And it just starts going down and just starts undoing his breeches and then takes out his big ginger cock.
Whoa!
I'm sorry. All right, a fanfic.
I mean, you should, obviously.
I used to try and write Riverdale fanfic. I did that for the Patreon for a while, where I would take a scene that happened in Riverdale and I would continue on with the scene. It's very difficult to write fanfic.
I'm sure.
It gave me such a bigger, I already had respect for fanfic writers, but just thinking about you have to stay in the character and in the scene and build upon it from there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's a really cool, everyone should try writing fanfic is all I'm saying. Just get your
writing
sex
exercise
out. Yeah.
It's a good writing exercise for sure.
Also, then you kind of figure out the kind of things that you're into, because then you find yourself writing about it. You're like, yeah, that would be really sexy. Whoa. And then you start bringing things into your life. And then nausea to arouse.
The next day, things are tense at breakfast, but everyone's still got all of their limbs. There's been no ripping apart of mouths. But oddly, a set of keys has gone missing to one of the front gates.
Oh.
Tamlin is unperturbed. He's more distracted by other thoughts of things that have happened maybe last night.
But you're in the middle of a lot right now, and you're not going to be concerned about the fact that there are keys to the front gates.
He's not a great High Lord. He's never wanted to be one, and it shows.
Yeah, he didn't want to be one.
But, I mean, he should have probably figured it out by now, but he does still not great at it.
Yeah.
Ianthe makes a grand entrance into this tense breakfast collective that's happening and has something disturbing to tell Tamlin. Well, at least she's feigning at being disturbed.
Her white throat bobbed.
There is. My acolytes discovered that the land around my temple is dying.
Boro Snoro, you little snake snitch.
Literally everyone at the table, Highburn, Springcourt, all of them are tired of this woman.
Yeah. The only one that's not tired of her shit is Tamlin.
Yeah, no one's buying this. They're all just sort of like looking at her, like rolling their eyes and like, okay, Ianthe, your flowers? Okay. But Feyre realizes is that this is likely some form of manipulation trying to win back the power that was stolen from her when Feyre literally stole her spotlight.
Yeah, dude.
Me? This all seems to be... They all seem to be wary, and maybe I'll see through this alarm that perhaps she wants to take everyone there and she'll magically heal the lands. Very televangelist of her.
Yes.
Feyre insults her by talking to her gently as though she's like simple-minded. Maybe it is just something for the gardeners. But if it's still bad after we return from the wall, I'll help you, okay, honey? Just kind of talking to her like that. But then Ianthe's she's also playing her game, so
this is just cogs, man. All these males in here are cogs for the women to be placed.
So all these women just like playing these like darted games, and all the guys are like, no.
Oh, I just want to have my dick sucked. And that's really what it comes down to, the males in all of this.
Yeah, that really is about a lot of stuff in life.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
Men. But so Ianthe's also playing her game, and she's like, oh, you're going to the wall. Are you going, Tamlin? And she's trying to like get into Tamlin's head, basically. And Feyre feels a headache coming on and assigns it to the fact that Ianthe's being annoying. And also because she's having to keep all these shields going at the same time, so it's a lot of magic being used. But we realize later that there was probably a different reason she was having this headache.
Oh, is there? Mm-hmm. Snakes in the grass.
Snakes! Virgin snakes.
Virgin snakes.
So... we'll learn about that a little bit later, which means that her magic's probably so powerful that the amount she's doing wouldn't even faze her if not for the other things happening. Truly cauldron blessed.
Cauldron blessed!
But regardless, Ianthe's pointed tone spooks Tamlin when he's like, I'm not going, but should I go? He tells the group he is going to go. I've decided I am going to go. But then Feyre takes her turn. I don't need an escort. She's weaponizing his guilt, trying to control her. So he's trying to like appease her now that she's back. So she's like, you're doing the smothering thing again. She doesn't want him to go to the wall. And they have this like light argument, which of course the Hibernians are just loving watching it happen. And like,
have this conversation somewhere else. You know, I'm a firm believer that if you're fighting with your partner, that you don't fight with your partner in front of other people. And I just feel like it shows too much of your cards, especially in front of people that you don't know very well.
Well, what do you and Jeff do when your high priestess is there? Do you bring her along to the fight?
Yeah, she's always sticking her nose into all our holes. And I'm like, get out of that hole.
Is it
That's
Gloria?
Not for you. Gloria is not an Ianthe. How dare you? Well, she could be a priestess, though. Did I tell you that Gloria's got her own baby now? She's got her own baby goose.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's Gloria 2.0.
What?
Not that she's better. She's just different. You'd think I'd give her a different name. All right, I will.
What? Oh, it's Gloria 2.0. What's her name?
How about Gargantua?
I love it.
Gargantua because she's a really little goose. She's only a couple of inches big.
I gotta post the goose. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah. She's made out of felt, and she was from somebody on tour. Someone on tour gave me this beautiful little felt goose, and I love her. Now she sits next to Gloria.
Oh.
And have I been pretending like Gloria? It's like when a dog gets a dog. Yes, that's how I've been pretending.
Feyre is sort of like needling into Tamlin that way, and then Ianthe's needling the other way, going, perhaps you should go, you High Lord. You know, the evil Night Court could be anywhere waiting to take her away from you. And Feyre's pissed, but she just like makes herself feel scared again and goes, have you heard any news? Like pretending like she's scared of the Night Court. And Jorian brushes this off, saying, Rizan is no fool. He's not going to show up. And then Ianthe, that essaying see you next Tuesday, agrees. But he says, yes, he's no fool, but he's very power hungry. Maybe if you send him back his family's wings, Tamlin. And Feyre's blood turns cold with rage. She's been trying to find them for Rhysand, of course, because if you'll recall, Tamlin's father killed Rhysand's mother and sister and then tacked their wings up on the wall. Like, God, it's pretty gruesome for him to
But I still don't know if I'd want my loved one's wings back.
No, that's what I think too. It's pretty gruesome. Like, it's like
I guess unless you want to like bury them or something.
I guess, but it feels like that's somebody returning your loved one's like taxidermied body to you, and you're like, thanks.
Although I have told Jeff that I am going to get him stuffed after he dies because I don't want him to ever not be in my life. And then I'm going to bring stuffed Jeff with me to all the parties because I want to make sure that he's involved.
So you're just like gonna just like devolve into like Texas Chainsaw Massacre eventually.
Yeah, but it's like.
But like
it's
cute.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like romantic instead. And like I'll dress him up like a Gloria, like a bigger Gloria, and like for all the holidays. And I'll kiss his little face. And I think that it's going to be cute. That or I was just going to scrape him out and wear his skin. But that's too far. And I'm too small.
I don't think he'd fit.
No, he's too tall. It would be very saggy. Yeah, it would be like when you put on
Like
a
a
California King sheet.
It'd be like a big old oversized onesie.
Although that would be comfortable.
That is gruesome. So yes. So like Ianthe seems to have suspicions about Feyre's intentions, and it seems like she's trying to bait her to get mad as she's talking. But Feyre just simply waits for Tamlin's response.
When Tamlin answered, his voice was low.
I burned them a long time ago.
I could have sworn there was something like remorse and shame in his words.
So again, pointing to Tamlin's not a supervillain. He feels he didn't do the wings. His dad did, and then he got rid of them knowing that it was really fucked up.
Yeah, because that was back when he and Rhys like kind of liked each other for that bit of time.
They were bros.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ianthe secures her spot though. However, as a supervillain, I should say, when she says, "Too bad. He might have paid handsomely for them."
Yeah, like that's what you need, you tithe-ass bitch. You get all these poor people, all the people that give their tithes when they don't have anything. You think you need more money for the wings?
And just treating the gruesomeness of their death like it's like some kind of, oh, I can get cash for this? Cool. But Feyre ignores her and doesn't like take the bait, and she switches gears. So she gently tells Tamlin she will be okay and she doesn't want to go down this road again. His penis wins the eternal battle. So he relents, and he will go with Feyre. He sides with her. He will not go. But he also subtly makes it known to Lucien that he will be watching him. Lucien's like, man, I'm just sitting here. Yeah. Why? I didn't do anything.
He's really going, but like, I love it because Tamlin can't like be mysterious about his upset at all. He's just like, and Lucien, he's essentially doing the like eyes, like, I'm watching you, bro. I see you, bro. Where it's like, try to be cool out.
Also, his little claws stick out. You can tell you're mad.
You're mad.
Honestly, Lucien's doing nothing though.
Yeah.
He's just like, whoa, bro. I'm trying to fuck her sister.
But also it goes to show what Tamlin thinks about a female, because like, oh, there's no way the female would be hoodwinking a big, strong man. Right. Like, it must be the man at fault here.
Yeah.
And because he doesn't, I really feel like he doesn't think that Feyre is strong enough to even do something like this.
Yeah, which is absurd. She saved their entire people.
Cuss breaker.
Ugh. So.
Cuss breaker. Something, and want you boom, boom down.
That's really quite a squish in there. I don't know if it's super fitting into that song, but
I just hope that everyone has Informer stuck in their head. Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Okay. So then after this, the gang heads back out to the wall, sans Tamlin. He doesn't come, neither does, I believe Ianthe also doesn't come. So here, Feyre notes the exhaustion she's feeling while winnowing people in between the walking. I guess they have to like build back up their strength to winnow every time, so it's sort of like going back and forth. She attributes this to the number of people she's carrying, but again, she's not fully correct. As they reach the spot where they will analyze the wall, it's becoming late, so they plan on working in the morning, and they decide to set up camp there. They have all have dinner around an unmerry campfire, and Feyre waits while their attendants build their tents.
See, now that's how you do camping. You just bring attendants with you, and then they set it all up for you. Make sure that you're make sure the AC is going in the tent, and that's the kind of camping that it's glamping. I'll go Fey glamping. Though.
I guess having servants is glamping.
Yes.
Fey glamping. Yeah. You could ward away spiders that way, and that's the only thing that I get really freaked out
and
about.
put up a shield around you to make sure that you're not covered in bugs.
It's like those photos of those big glass bulbs that people like stay in tents. I don't know if they're real or not, but do you ever see those that like look like big clear?
Yeah. And in my head, I'm just like, isn't that just going to make you like the sun bounce off of everything and make it really hot in there? But
like set you on fire.
Yes. I am not an ant.
Oh, you are an ant. So then after the tents are built, the Creep twins go into their own little tent together, and Feyre and Lucien will be sharing one.
Did you just call me a creep twin?
Yes.
Just because I have sex with my brother?
Yeah.
And because I stare and I barely say anything?
Yes, but you are pretty.
Thank you.
But just a creep.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty creep.
Yeah, pretty creep. And Feyre and Lucien will be sharing one in very tight quarters. Lucien, she goes in first, and then Lucien like flaps it open and looks at it, and he's like, maybe I should sleep outside?
Aww.
She sort of just like dismisses this, like, please. And I mean, his reaction is fair. It would be deeply awkward to sleep that close to someone you're not having sex with.
Yes.
But Feyre can have the excuse that as the High Lady, the High Lord's wife, I guess.
Please, yeah, not a High Lady. There's no High Lady in the spring court.
We're not being crazy here. He's required to protect her. So he obliges, and he lays in the tent with her as she snaps that Tamlin is being a pain in the ass about her associating with Lucien.
Lucien unbuttoned his jacket, but remained mostly dressed as he slid onto his sleeping roll.
I think it's made worse because you two haven't. I mean, you haven't, right?
I stiffened, tugging the blanket higher onto my shoulders.
No, I don't want to be touched like that. Not for a while.
Good for you. Know your boundaries.
So she's still half filled with guilt because she knows Lucien is a good male, but she's also mad at him.
Yeah.
So these scenes where she's with him are sort of like torn in her. She's like internally torn. She asks him sincerely if there's any way to get out of this deal with Hybern now that she's been returned. Lucien shuts this down quickly. It's impossible. The binds of the deal will wreak havoc on everything if they try to break it. He goes on to tell her that bargains are old magic, and he himself tried to find a way out of it at the day court while she was gone. It's one of their specialties, and they don't even understand the bargain magic because it's ancient.
Sick.
Yeah. Feyre realizes here that this was the point where Ianthe started to push Tamlin into making the bargain with Hybern. So that after they did everything they could to try to break the bargain between her and Rhysand, then Tamlin, in desperation, went to Hybern and was like, help me.
And of course it was encouraged by Ianthe for him to have, that wasn't just Tamlin didn't come up with that.
No.
Again, because he's more brute strength than he is smarts, and that's okay. But it is scary as a High Lord because he can be easily nudged into why don't we do this really evil thing instead?
Bit of a George W. Bush there.
It is.
And
I did not have a sex.
It's very different.
But you did think George W. Bush was in the room for a second, right?
Flawless. He was doing a Bill Clinton impersonation.
He was doing it. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So
don't throw a shoe at me. Remember when everyone saw threw a shoe at him?
Wait, who? What?
Did someone throw a shoe at George W. Bush? Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We've got confirmation.
Madeline, our producer, is saying yes. I don't remember that happening at all.
Someone threw a shoe at him.
And Feyre threw a shoe at Rhysand.
Oh my God.
It's just
does that make Reese George W. Bush?
Yes.
Because no, don't ruin it. I'm looking at the picture of Tony Maffood.
So, where are we? Oh my God. What happened to the story? Okay, yeah. So Ianthe definitely was manipulating Tamlin. She was being a bit of the, oh my God.
Gaslighter.
What is the fucking vice president's name from 9/11?
Oh, he got shot. See, I know the important things.
What was Bush's vice president?
Dick Cheney.
Thank you.
Who did get shot? Thank you with the George Bush facts. Thank you, Madeline. Yeah.
Yeah, so in this,
I got your George Bush facts.
Ianthe's being the Dick Cheney here. We'll say that. So
he didn't throw the shoe, although that would have been funny to watch him just like trying to.
Yeah, not a fit man. So basically, then he like relents and like he goes with Ianthe's plan, and it was that he grew frantic after she sent him the letter saying, "Please leave her alone," which should have done the opposite. He should have stopped
pursuing her, yes.
But then he started just going insane. And after that day, Lucien confronted Feyre in the forest. Tamlin finally agreed to do Ianthe's plan. As they both fall towards sleep in this tent, they have a moment of levity as they agree that they both hate Hybern even as their allies.
Yeah. Well, think of the creepy twins.
The next morning, Feyre has curled towards Lucien's side of the tent. She acknowledges it wasn't intentional. It was like for warmth more than anything, but is glad.
That happened in Twilight too. Sure.
Yeah, that's right.
That warmth, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Jeff's going camping this weekend without me. Do I have to worry?
Is he? Well, he's a wolfish man, so
yeah, he is.
There's no one being Bella Swan in that situation.
Yeah, that's true. He is the Yakub in this.
Yeah, he's the Yakub. But it kind of works to her benefit because Jorian rips the tent open, waking them up, and he notes it sneering that she's sort of like laying into him, that she knows that's going to get back to Tamlin when Jorian wants to like mess with his head.
Of course.
As they're getting themselves...
Also, don't open up somebody else's tent.
I mean, he's being a Jorian.
Yeah, he is being a Jorian.
They're not polite people.
No.
So as they're getting themselves ready to go observe the wall, Princess Branagh makes a crude comment about how the Autumn Court men fuck like they have fire in their blood.
I mean, kind of fun though.
Yeah. And Feyre worries about what that might mean for Elain as the mate to Lucien, but that doesn't sound that bad, Feyre. Your sister is like 25.
Yeah, she can definitely handle it. Also, that just sparked something in my brain that I remember I saw this. I saw a fan art picture of Eris and Tarquin. And it just makes me think of the fire and the light that would come from that courting experience.
Wait, but Tarquin would be water. It'd be fire and water.
Oh, that would
steam.
be. Oh my God, how steamy it would be! Yes,
it'd be like very sweaty ball sacks, but
yeah, but that's all right. I mean, in the fantasy, I'm not sniffing their ball sacks.
That's true.
Usually,
yeah, that's true.
No, I'm just watching from afar.
Yeah, it's like a sauna.
With their consent.
Yeah,
yes.
they want you to watch from afar.
Me, yeah.
From the bushes.
It's part of going, yum, yum. But I'm still dressed like Branagh, so
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot.
So yeah, Lucien and Feyre then later, after this weird interaction she has with Branagh, Lucien and Feyre walk towards, preparing the work for the day, and they're all walking towards the wall together, and Jorian's at the head, and he's at the front, and he swears.
We were both moving at his barked curse, and then broke into a run at the sound of a sword whining free of its sheath. Leaves and branches whipped at me, but then we were at the wall, that invisible, horrible marker humming and throbbing in my head. And staring right at us through the hole were 3 children of the blessed.
Oh no!
Oh no, it's us!
It's us.
We are children of the blessed, unfortunately.
So yeah, chapter 7 opens with the Creep twins salivating over the 3 humans that are on the other side of the invisible wall.
I should have brought some pud. We could have made this good pud. It was like a salivate.
Oh no! Well, that's how they were looking at the humans as pudding.
Yes.
The
Good. That's some good human pud right there.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't want to talk about human pud.
I mean, you did it. You said it. Too late. Little tapioca in there. The young adults are all doing what
You need to go to a doctor.
The young adults are all doing what I guess Jackie and I would be doing, which is just standing at the wall going, please,
Let us in.
please, can I come in?
Ready to be Faye.
Here we see Jorian, who usually is in perfect sneer harmony with the Hibernians, drop his mask a bit as he looks kind of panicked about the humans. He knows at the core what kind of Fae the Hibernian people are, and he is still a human, and so he has that initial shock reaction, fuck, when he sees these humans. Lucien tries to tell these people that they don't accept tributes up here, but the twins have different plans. They start speaking sweetly to them.
Do you want a chocolate?
Yeah, so basically why don't you come through?
Yeah.
Giving them the eyes.
We don't have sex with each other.
If only that was the worst thing that they had planned for them.
It really sticks out in the mind, you know?
Yeah, it does. It's correct. Feyre sees this threat from the twins and speaks coldly to the people, wants them to be frightened off by her. But they're already entranced with the beauty of the twins and the flirtatious eyes they're making at them.
Like this. This is why I'm so good at seduction.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Subtle.
Yeah.
Subtle Jackie. So Feyre goes one step further. She slams her magic through the wall and gets into their heads. She implants her memories of the worst things she's seen above the wall, all the monsters, the death. The next time Dagden, after this, tries to lure them in, they are so gripped with fear at what Feyre has just presented to them that they run. The twins are angry and want to go after the people, but Feyre forces them all forward. She threatens the twins and says, you are not to go follow them. She finishes her memory alterations on the children of the blessed as they run by making them desire to find their families and set sail for the continent, trying to get them away before the war begins. The twins begin, they're like, they act like they're fine. They're like, ugh, fine. And they go off and start fiddling with the wall. And Feyre retreats to a nearby spot in the trees.
A moment later, a male body came up beside mine. Not Lucien, I realized with a jolt, but did not so much as flinch. Jorian's eyes were on the place where the humans had been.
Thank you,
he said. His voice was rough.
I don't know what you're talking about,
I replied, well aware that Lucien carefully watched from the shade of a nearby oak. Jorian gave me a knowing smirk and sauntered after Dagden.
Here's my knowing smirk.
Oh, that's a good... I'll smirk. Both of us look like we're making in our diapers with our knowing smirks.
I kind of look like a really bad De Niro.
Ugh, you milk a cat, Greg.
Oh, yes.
Of all the movies, to quote.
Never seen that movie. It never will.
No, you don't have to.
So this is interesting because this is a bit of humanity from Jorian we're seeing. So far, we haven't really witnessed any of that. Just thinking him to be a cad. Mm-hmm. Interesting, though. We're seeing something else in him a little. The day passes on, and Feyre acknowledges she has no idea what they're actually doing there at the wall and knows that there's no way the twins are ever going to actually tell her what they're doing.
Our lips are sealed. Mm-hmm. They should put on a little performance so that they sing and dance to Our Lips Are Sealed. But they do it to the Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen version of it for when they were kids.
Oh, do it because they're twins.
Yeah, because they're twins.
Oh, that's cute. They should have done a video series, and they wouldn't have had to have been evil.
Oh my God! See, that's all they needed. Although there's many evil people on YouTube, I'm fairly sure. Nah, you're right. They all have good intentions.
Yeah. As the day turns to night, Feyre finds herself in a rare moment alone with Jorian at the fire. Here we get our first real conversation with Jorian. So far, he's mostly been a caricature of evil and revenge. But as they begin to tentatively discuss the children of the blessed, they actually speak to one another. He wants to know what happens to these children of the blessed if they make it over the wall. Feyre doesn't know. She's never seen humans living in these lands, so she assumes nothing good. He scoffs and remarks about how he fought in that bloody war for so long to give his people freedom from servitude, and now these children cosplay and beg to go back.
I mean, that would probably piss me off as well.
Yeah, but it's always the way. Always is. People forget, and history repeats itself. Feyre goads him and says, "Be careful, you almost don't sound like a faithful pet to Hybern." He challenges her, saying that he has his own reasons for doing all of this.
Very interesting.
In this exchange, we get some further clarity about his feelings on his lost lover, Miriam, and how he claims to be waiting to seek revenge for her leaving him. Feyre chastises him for sort of wasting his entire resurrection on trying to get back at an old lover.
Jorian smiled slowly.
"Isn't that what you're doing?" Feyre's like, because he's trying to, he's, I think in that moment he's trying to be like, "I see you, girl.
I see you. I see what you're doing."
But she just goes, "Yeah, I definitely want to get Rhys on. I hate him.
He's so bad.
Jerk." Then we learn something new about Jorian and Rhys's relationship. And this is a little bit like the Alice interaction with her, that she knew that they knew each other during the war, but Jorian here kind of alludes to the idea that he doesn't buy that Rhys is this evil demon, that he went against orders in order to rescue Miriam back in the war, that he's actually a brave man and that he cares for his friends.
Yes, he does.
And Jorian says the male that he knew was decent and that he doesn't believe that he would have changed that much over the years. Oh, that's me. Uh-huh. "And yet here you are, his mate. The most powerful high lord in the world lost his mate, and yet has not come to claim her, even when she is defenseless in these woods."
Jorian chuckled.
"Perhaps that's because reason has not lost you at all, but rather unleashed you upon us."
So, like, as the pages go on of, like, everyone around them is like, "Girl, I see what you're doing." Because, again, she's not, like, the best at this, but she's doing a good job. But, like, she's not the best at being covert, except for Tamlin. Except that Tamlin's like, "Nah, I love her. Nah, I'm a dickard. I love her."
Which is all she really needs at the end of the day. So she hears these words about her mate, and she gets kind of like horned up about it.
Yeah, man.
But she's trying to hide her surprise that, like, the Jorian's saying these things after, he was just praised so much by Jorian. She's like, "What? No, ew, I hate him.
Yeah.
Ew, what?" "Hybern will kill all of you,"
was all Jorian replied.
They all go to sleep that evening with little event. However,
Jorian wasn't wrong. Lucien woke me the next morning with a hand over my mouth, warning gleaming in his russet eye. I smelled it a moment later, the coppery tang of blood.
Lucien and Feyre rush from their tent and find a massacre. Well, first they find Jorian and all of their sentries sitting around a fire looking grim, but no twins. You're too late.
What were we doing?
Nothing good.
Not having sex in the tent with each other.
This time they weren't.
No, this one time.
You're too late, Jorian says. It's clear that he is angry, not apathetic about it, which is why he's sitting at the fire. He's like, can't do anything about it. Likely, like, knowing there's nothing to be done. Feyre races towards the smell of the blood and there finds the slaughter.
The Hybern royals hadn't bothered to clean up their mess. From what was left of the 3 bodies, their shredded pale robes like fallen ashes through the small clearing. Dagden and Branach must have shut out their screams with some sort of shield.
Yikes. Feyre's, yuck. Brutal. Feyre's taken back to the site of Claire Better as she's observing this horror in front of her and realizes that this must be a common practice for Hybern, this kind of mutilation and torture.
But they also must be very tired because they didn't get any sleep because they were too busy torturing all night long.
Well, they're probably napping now.
You think so? Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, I'm feeling for Dagden and Branach But maybe it's
You
just
have
because I'm
to.
dressed as them.
You have to empathize with her.
Yeah.
Lucien realizes as they stand before this horror that the twins must have tracked these children over the wall once the others had fallen asleep. The bodies of the children of the blessed are ripped apart, but Lucien and Feyre cover the biggest parts of their bodies with cloaks. Again, this is reasserting that Lucien is a good male who wants to honor these dead people. Feyre queasily asks Lucien if he thinks that the royals are trying to send a message to them. But Lucien thinks that they consider the humans so meaningless that it's more likely they were just mad they didn't get to fill their druthers and had a tantrum.
Man, I ain't never had a tantrum like that.
I hope not.
No, most of my tantrums are like, I want to go to a theme park right now.
And then you go stamp your foot.
Yes, and then I'm taken to a theme park.
Ha!
See? That's all you have to do.
As chapter... So then, even though maybe it's not a message, Feyre decides to send them a message. Mm-hmm. As chapter 8 opens, Lucien and Feyre are sitting before an enraged Tamlin who is berating them as though they are primary school students who are misbehaving. As they argue about what Lucien and Feyre have done, we learn it was that they have sent the Bogue after the twins.
Oh my God.
The Bogue. Boggy.
Boggy.
Bogug. If you'll recall, is a creature that you're not supposed to look at, which is also a reference to the boogeyman, which that term is actually derived from the term bogue in Middle English.
Oh.
I don't know if we said that before, but so this is one of the things that first frightened Feyre back in the day.
Yeah.
And so they sent those creatures after the twins and they got their asses handed to them. And Tamlin is pissed about it.
That was after they handed their asses to each other.
Yeah, probably. And Tamlin's pissed about it because they are technically Spring Court allies, even though they're little sociopaths.
What? Us? Me and my sex brother?
Yes. You know it.
Yeah, we're pretty bad. Badass.
But Feyre doesn't give a care. They tortured those little humans to death, and they deserved punishment, which of course they did, and it's stupid that Tamlin's mad.
But they are a prince and princess of Hybern, so you gotta think about that for a sec.
But they torture porned 3 humans to death.
All in one night. That is impressive.
And again, Jesus fucking Christ, Tamlin, acting like they should just have brushed this off makes him look like a real piece of shit and a pushover to the Hibernians.
Yeah.
Again, Lucien comes to Feyre's defense, saying that Feyre had given them direct orders to leave the humans alone, and they did it anyway. That he will look like a coward without retaliating against their, their disregard for her orders. He responds by telling Lucien to get the fuck out of the room. Every time I want to feel bad for Tamlin.
I know. Then it's just there's always something where you're like, you know what? I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah, you're an idiot. So Feyre is genuinely upset here, but she also sees this as an opportunity. As Lucien leaves, she starts to needle into Tamlin, saying that he promised not to treat her like a child this time. They argue.
Call him out.
You sold us out to get me back.
I said, low and cold.
You whored us out to Hybern. Forgive me if I am now trying to regain some of what we lost.
Boom! Claws slid free. A feral growl rippled out of him.
And then Wolf. I mean, she is trying to get him bad here.
Yeah, man.
They hunted us down and butchered those humans for sport.
I went on.
You might be willing to get on your knees for Hybern, but I certainly am not.
He exploded.
Ouch. That's cold. And while he has no excuse to act how he does, that's really fucked up, but she would say that.
Yeah, but she's just exploding everything is not the way to react to that.
No, but she knows he's going to, which is why she said it. And he again explodes.
But also, she's not wrong.
No, she's not wrong. And he explodes. The room shatters like it did that night earlier before she left him for the night court, whenever she unintentionally made that shield around herself instead of getting hurt. She didn't know she could do it at the time, but this time she doesn't shield herself intentionally.
I wonder why.
It's a little insane, but it's effective.
Yeah, dude.
So she gets thrown in this scene, and Lucien bursts into the room at just the right time. Feyre's collapsed on the ground after being slammed away. The room's in pieces. She feels blood trickling down her face and knows that the scene is complete. Tamlin just stands there as Lucien escorts her out, and as an added bonus, a bunch of his sentries are also standing outside the door gawking.
Dude.
It's not good.
It's not good.
As Lucien leads her out, Tamlin starts to follow them, and she does another manipulation. I'm fine. I'm sorry.
She's like limping and covered in blood.
Apologizing.
Yes.
Ugh. Diabolical.
Yeah, dude.
So later, as she's conferring with Rhys in her room mentally, she's noting that she seemingly has prevented Dawn Court's healing properties to work too well. So she's like intentionally made the healing properties not work to like make her wounds look worse, but it's working way better than she thought it would. And she didn't realize how much the wounds were going to stay. Rhys is unsurprisingly concerned with how far she's taking things. She tells him that she's got it under control, and she teases him by sending a picture of her sticking her tongue out.
Which it's so cute that it is like Faye texting, but not even the write down kind. Just their bond is just like a little like, you know, private chat that they've got going. Is this him sliding
like
into her
AIM
DMs?
chat.
Yeah.
It's a little AIM chat. He sends her back a picture of him doing something else with his tongue.
Nice. He's cute.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony. Not looking at pictures
I was
of
like,
Tony
his name's
Mafood.
not Tony.
Oh, Tony Mafood.
In the next scene, she's telling everyone that her bruises are too bad to go to the wall the next day, and they will have to all wait. She's again surprised at how slowly the healing is going, and then in this scene, we get a sense of how bad the injuries are when the Hibernians are sulking that they have to wait on her.
Tamlin hadn't possessed the nerve to suggest they go without me, to rob me of that duty. Not when he saw the purplish markings and knew that if they were on a human, I might have been dead.
Which is like, she got really fucked up.
Yeah, man.
So he threw her really, really hard. During all of this, Ianthe is lurking about, and it seems as though she's putting her own little masquerade on. These poor Tamlin, he's just being like puppeted by these two conniving women, and he's just like,
He's just
I
a
hope
doll.
everybody likes me.
Yeah, he just wants to get his dick. He just wants everything to be fine and normal.
Yes.
He just wants it
things to be nice.
Yes. Can it be nice? Can it just be nice? No, it can't.
No, it can't. So Ianthe's into this whole scene, and remember the lost set of keys from earlier?
The ones that Tamlin didn't give a shit about, you mean?
Well, it turns out that 7 Naga have broken onto the grounds, and one of them is found with the keys. As a refresher, the Naga are fairies with male humanoid bodies and serpentine features. They're covered completely in dark scales and have powerful arms with polished black talons. That is from the ACOTAR wiki. So it was funny when, because I couldn't remember what they looked like, and they were caught with the keys. I was like, oh, they like carried around their mouth or something?
Yeah, it's just like they can barely hold the keys. Just think of it like a Tinkerbell, just like a little light flying around trying to hold these big keys.
But I think they're just like, they look like dudes kind of.
Yeah. Just dudes with wings.
Yeah. So anyway, they were all warned of this thing happening by guess who? Ianthe. She magically had a cauldron-sent vision that warned her of the break-in.
Oh,
Convenient.
interesting.
Tamlin says that the sentry who lost the keys would be dealt with. We cut to a scene where this sentry is now stripped to the waist, and Tamlin is standing before him. This sentry swears that he never falls asleep, and it doesn't understand why this happened to him. But Tamlin, he can't show weakness in front of the Hybern royals. And one of Tamlin's head sentries hands Tamlin a whip.
No.
Ianthe, in her starring role, is all too willing to dole out this punishment.
Ianthe stepped forward, hands folded over her stomach.
20 lashes, and one more, for the cauldron's forgiveness. This makes Feyre very upset. She's
yeah.
but she knows what's going on. Feyre decides to make her move. She has known all along that Ianthe was going to play this game. She's been tracking her this entire time, actually. And she knows that Ianthe has spelled this sentry and stolen the keys. She gets into the sentry's mind and feeds him back this memory that Ianthe had tried to stifle from him. It was her,
he panted, jerking his chin to Ianthe.
She took the keys.
Tamlin blinked, and everyone in that courtyard looked right to Ianthe.
But Ianthe's not cowed. She's not gonna be like.
Of course not.
Why would I take them? Tamlin is now caught. He has to decide. He has to weigh the members of his court's accusations. Does he side with all of his warrior guys, or does he side with this high priestess who keeps like whispering in his ear? But of course, Cursebreaker Feyre. No, she wants to hear the sentry's story.
Mm-hmm.
Ianthe's pissed. You would take the word of a sentry over a high priestess? That's a bad move, lady. She's saying that in front of all of these warrior guys.
Yeah, the ones that protect you, the ones that take care of you guys.
You shouldn't go about insulting them, probably.
Nodded.
She sees herself as such above them, I think. She's destined to join someone with power, so she doesn't care what they think. They're like ants. You are like the buzzing of flies to her. But Feyre knows the power is in the people, like Bernie Sanders.
Oh my God, look at us politicals today.
Feyre looks at Tamlin and realizes that he too knows that Ianthe has planned this Naga attack. But would she have gone so far as to actually manipulate a sentry and use him for a trick?
I think she would.
Tamlin's now facing another conundrum. He has no way to prove that Ianthe has deceived them. Does he show his sentry's loyalty and not punish this male who says that Ianthe did this, or does he disregard it and show the Hibernians that he is not to be toyed with, not weak? Because to the Hiberns, mercy is weakness. And he signed on to be allies with a cold, cruel people. He makes his decision.
Tamlin turned to the sentry tied to the posts.
Put the bit in.
He quietly ordered Bronn.
No. Tamlin.
Tamlin.
His sentries watch in shock as he sides with Ianthe over them. They will not forget this. The sentries who had willingly walked to their deaths over the wall to try to break the curse of Amarantha. Now not only has Tamlin betrayed them, they know that there is a snake amongst them in priestess form. And the only person who stood up for them was the little human-turned Fey lady.
Blessed Cursebreaker. Cursebreaker, don't you let the priestess win. Boom, boom, down.
It's too far into this episode to come up with a song.
I'm trying to keep it current.
Yeah, that's a very current reference. So, as Chapter 9 starts, the poor sentry has been whipped raw, and Ianthe seems to feel triumphant about her place within Springcourt, having escorted the Hibernians and Tamlin back to the manor. But Feyre stays with the sentries and tends to the wounds of the bloody night guard who was used and abused. So,
because this is some under the mountain shit right now. What are we doing here?
I don't know, Tamlin, you saw people being tortured so much, and you're still going to do this?
Yeah. Like, have a conversation, maybe. Do we have to resort to whips?
I do think also, like, he doesn't like the torture, but he's not a good High Lord.
No. But also, again, it goes back to he never wanted to be one.
You figure it out.
Figure it out.
Ugh. Like Rizan. So, over dinner that night, Ianthe declares that she and Tamlin will be joining them at the wall the next day. Jorian winks at Feyre as she says this, as if to say he knows that Ianthe is scheming as well. Feyre packs her bags that night, and Alice comes in to hand her extra supplies, as they will be traveling to a further part of the wall. She gestures to Feyre to sit down, and she stands behind her and brushes her hair, as Alice has always played a sort of mothering role to Feyre. And she knows more of Feyre's intentions and heart than most of the Spring Court. Alice tells her that she herself is also leaving the Spring Court in the morning, that she and her nephews are to return to the Summer Court, to their home, that it has been too long since she has seen it. I know the feeling.
Was all I said.
Because though they haven't spoken it openly, Alice knows the truth behind Feyre's intentions. And
Again, she's not very good at being covert. I feel like this is a painting situation all over again.
No painting in this episode.
No painting, but definitely one. I think that she's like, you're doing really well at being a spy here, when in reality she's not. It's just because of the brute stupidity of Tamlin that she's even getting away with these things.
Yes, it's true. But also Alice is clever.
I mean, Bark knows what Bark wants. You know that phrase. That's like that's like a Middle Earth phrase.
Yeah. You Lord of the Rings nerd.
Look at my cloak.
So Alice tells her that she wishes her well for the rest of her days, however long that may be. She seems to always know the game that Feyre is playing is unsafe, and she's maybe a bit deceptive, but seems to accept her for who she is, maybe even approve of who Feyre is. Feyre is honest with Alice and tells her there's a blood ruby with her name on it. Alice, being from the summer court, of course, would know what that means, and she's a little taken aback by it, but it doesn't change her feelings for Feyre.
Alice squeezed my hand.
How do I do it? Blood
Yeah.
Blood ruby, no.
Oh, Bark. Bark.
Blood ruby or no, you will always have one friend in the summer court.
My throat bobbed.
And you will always have one in mine.
I promised her. She knew which court I meant and did not look afraid. Hi, lady.
Hi, lady. Which I thought was a nice interaction.
Yeah.
She has so few allies and such limited family love. It was nice she had a maternal figure by her side during all of this.
Even if she was covered in bark.
Especially because she's covered in bark.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. The next day, they all head out to the wall, and Feyre is feeling rather weak, which she attributes to winnowing even more people. As they set up camp, Feyre meagerly asks if she can share a tent with Ianthe instead of Tamlin, serving several purposes. One, not having to sleep next to Tamlin.
Ooh.
Two, it is disarming Ianthe, making her think that Feyre doesn't suspect her and wants to make friends again after the whole sentry situation. So Ianthe's like, oh, see, she really wants to suck up to me because she knows how powerful I am. And three, it's also she's trying to spare Lucien from Ianthe's advances because she, of course, still cares for Lucien.
Yeah.
She thinks about how lying next to Ianthe without slitting her throat is a practice in control. But to keep herself focused, she repeats her family's names over and over again. Being a bit of an Arya Stark there.
Very much so.
Except I guess Arya says the names of the people she's going
to kill, yeah.
But it's kind of the same.
Very. Honestly, it's a very Feyre version of something that Arya would do.
Yes, for sure. But this meditation helps her calm her nerves. Remember, it's the long game, not this petty revenge she wants to do right now, like strangling Ianthe to death. Yet she awakens gripping the knife in her hands, and Ianthe wakes up shortly after to see Feyre sitting over her blade in hand, and Ianthe's sort of like, hi, good morning.
Oh, were you just cutting up some fruit or something?
Feyre's like, yeah.
Yeah, fruit. Yeah, that's what I call it.
You're a fruit.
What are you, some kind of pineapple?
The day as the twins inspect the wall, Feyre sits close by and watches, eating an apple like a mob boss with a knife.
Yeah, again, eating her fruits.
Tamlin, Ianthe, Lucien, and the sentries are all off doing other things, so she's alone with the twins. She toys with them.
Do you want to join us and have a threesome?
No, that's not what they said. Yeah. So she's toying with them. The twins are having whatever weird conversation they're having at the wall, and Feyre interjects.
What do you think they talk about? I mean, what do you think they have in common that they need to discuss? Maybe it's like, oh man, we did a really good job torturing those people yesterday. You know what? Good on you. Yeah. Slurp, slurp, slurp. This is like while she's got his dick in her hand.
They're not doing it while they're inspecting the wall.
Oh yeah.
Feyre's just watching eating an apple. I think they're supposed to be talking about whatever magics they're trying to figure out how to they're looking at the whole. Basically, they say in that conversation, they're looking at the hole to figure out what powerful magic opened this little hole, and they're going to take notes on it.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
So she kind of interjects, letting them know that she can hear them talking. They start to bicker back and forth with each other, and she's slowly trying to pull little precious pieces of information out of them through her mockery. Oh, I don't think your armies are going to get through that. You didn't think about how getting your dumb armies out through that hole? Like, I'm sure they're too big. Like, how many exactly?
If you were to say to go through the hole, how many armies?
But it works.
Yeah, dude.
She affirms that there are roughly 200,000 in their army, which is not good. But she got what she needed from their info. Her next movement will take place today after this bickering conversation. She pulls all of the stuff she needs to from them and she's done. She uses the supplies Alice has packed for her and puts them in one bag, leaving the other two that they brought for her behind.
I had numbers, I had a purpose, I had a specific location, and the names of foreign territories.
And she's also set the stones in motion to crumble the power structure inside the spring court.
Damn!
And now it's time for her to exit stage right.
Get out of here, girl. Set him up for destruction.
And walk away. She has set up a mind trap for a sentry who will remember several days from now, after she's disappeared, that the twins tortured her, nearly killed her, and that the sentry came in and intervened to help her escape. That Tamlin and Ianthe refused to stop it because it would affect their alliances with Highburn. And now that she is their only stronghold, the only ally to the sentries, the only one who seems to value Tamlin's personal army, they're not going to stand next to Tamlin after they hear what he allowed the twins to do. Mm-hmm. It will be an ugly scene that day. She's already walking away, not caring that she's destroying everyone inside, until she hears Lucien. And she hears a female's laughter. She's heard this laughter before in Rizan's memory. She tries to ignore whatever is happening. She wants to stay focused on her plan. But then she hears Ianthe's words to Lucien and realizes that her toying with Tamlin at the expense of Lucien has made Ianthe jealous. And now she's trying to make Lucien pay for it.
This truly upsets me. This scene really, really got me when I was reading, especially the first time where I was like, ew, put her in the ground.
Yeah, she's awful.
Ugh.
Do not touch me, Lucien says, and that's all Feyre needs to hear. She reverses course and heads back towards the sounds.
Good for you, girl.
I mean, you can't leave him to be assaulted.
No.
That would make you a monster. She creeps up and sees that Lucien's been bound to a tree, bound with that blue stone that Rizan was bound to whenever they caught him in the air. And it's the kind that stops powers. And Ianthe is basically assaulting Lucien. That's enough, Feyre says as she steps out of the brush like Batman.
Like the Bat Boys.
Oh, yeah, like the Bat Boys.
The Bat Boys also would have stepped in and saved Lucien as well.
They absolutely would have. Ianthe tries to play it off like they're doing a sex game and tells Feyre that they'll see her back at camp. But Feyre knows enough to know it's not going down like that.
No.
Even though Lucien's really embarrassed and he doesn't immediately speak up. She slams into Ianthe's mind and she sees a mask over a face of decay. That her beauty hides her ugly soul. And inside of her, Feyre sees what is basically a serial artist.
Yes.
It's just like she goes through Ianthe's memories. There's just all these different men that she's forced sex upon.
Ugh.
She grips into Ianthe's mind, commands her body to stop, to go over to a boulder and place her hand on it.
Yes.
And she commands her to smash it with a rock using her other hand.
Yes.
Ianthe thrashes mentally against Feyre's control, but Feyre is stronger. And the scene is brutal. I mean, Ianthe crushing her own hand over and over
just
until
screaming as she's crushing her own hand. That's fucking badass.
It's pretty metal, yes. She commands Ianthe that she will never touch another person against their will. If only we could do that in real life.
I know, man. Crush a hand.
Crush a head. She tells Ianthe that she won't remember what happens here, that she's not allowed to heal the scarring. And when she looks at her hand, she will remember her instructions to never touch someone without consent. She She finishes up this bit of magic and looks at Lucien, who seems to realize a whole lot about Feyre in that moment. He's shocked. The word you are looking for, Lucien,
Crooned a deceptively light female voice.
is Demati.
We whirled toward Branagh and Dagden as they stepped into the clearing, grinning like wolves. I don't know how to grin like a wolf. I feel like it has to be.
I think it's a lot of teeth.
Oh, it's.
The twins seem as unsurprised as Feyre at the opening of chapter 10. Going somewhere, Feyre? So the twins and Feyre are now playing the calm game where they're each going, oh, I see. Like,
Whoa.
they're not surprised. Don't worry about them being surprised because they're definitely not.
No.
And Lucien then at this point notices the bag and weapons on Feyre and looks devastated as he realizes she is about to leave. But Feyre hasn't banked on these twins following her movements. She's been so focused on Ianthe and Tamlin that she doesn't see that Branagh and Dagden are also playing the game.
We're playing the game of Candyland. I am Lord Licorice and I have sex with Princess Frostine.
Oh, I guess Lord Licorice isn't. Oh, maybe the mud puddle. Remember the mud puddle in Candyland?
No.
There's some sort of dripping, oozy mud puddle, like a bog man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so maybe that's me.
That's you?
Yeah, and I'm having sex with Princess Frostine.
I only remember Lord Licorice. I don't remember any of the other
God,
characters.
I loved Lord Licorice. I think that definitely started a lot of horniness for me in my head.
Oh, I think Candyland helped just me dissociate and want to live in fantasy worlds all the time and look where we are now.
So did you pretend to be for Princess Frostine?
There was no sex in my at the time. I just wanted to eat. I was.
You just wanted to live in
I wanted to
Candyland.
lick the walls and stuff.
Well, you can lick the walls whenever you want, Natalie.
I can. So she's been like they're also doing this fucking. They're all just manipulating each other.
Yeah.
It's got to be tiring to be a fae. I gotta tell you. And at first, Feyre doesn't seem to care much that they've been following her, but then
Dagden snorted and finally observed to his sister.
I give her about 10 minutes before the apple sets in. Uh-oh. What's that now?
Squeeze me?
Baking powder? It turns out that these two little creepy twins have been crushing up Faebane stones in both she and Ianthe's foods. So slowly adding it in to dull their powers so as not to raise suspicion.
That's where all the headaches are coming from. It's why she feels so tired.
Yep. It's not because she couldn't handle the power.
No.
And the final nail in the coffin, that apple she was eating like a boss, it was grown in the gardens of Hybern, being fed a diet of liquid Faebane. And it's going to rip all of her powers away.
It's got to be really annoying, though, if the entire garden is being fed liquid Faebane. That means you can't eat anything from your garden, so you only use it. So it's all evil fruit that you can't touch.
Better not get too drunk around it or you're going to be like, I don't care. I'm going to have one. I'm not hungry.
Apple.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Okay, Garden of Eden much? What, are you going to take my uterus and make me have babies? God? Is that what happens? Bible? I'm like a biblist. And everybody knows that I know everything about a Bible.
Biblist. I think you're not that wrong.
Wow. That never happens.
So this is not good news.
No.
She has already, I guess you can't just puke it up now. It's already in the blood.
Yeah.
In her final moments of magic, she could choose to leave Lucien behind, but you know a bitch ain't gonna do that.
Ah.
He's also likely been fed the Faebane, and only the mother knows what would happen to him if she left.
Ugh.
And so with the last of her energy, she explodes into night and shadow.
Sick. And even 1,000 years wasn't enough for Dagden to adequately prepare as I winnowed in front of him and struck.
Yeah.
Yes.
They engage in an epic battle.
Yes.
One that's best left to S-Jam to describe. Although, like, I think it would be really fun to recreate some of these fight scenes.
Yeah.
Maybe someday I'll like be able to make the time to produce those.
Or if
That'd be really-
Hulu makes the show.
I mean, I'll just do it anyway.
okay, yeah, just for fun.
But yeah, you should read the scene. It's really fun and cool. And there's like, it's pretty short if you're not reading the books. So they battle, and Lucien steps right in at the precise moment Feyre needs to distract Branagh. And Branagh doesn't notice Lucien winnowing in. And her head goes, slice!
Yeah.
Flies across into the grass.
Yeah.
Dagden screams in rage.
That's my fuck buddy.
I mean, sister.
Oh, oops, Sames.
He charges forward, but is too slow, and Feyre punches her sword through his eye,
yeah.
crushing his brain. In her last magic, she tells Ianthe, who's still prone there on the ground, that she must tell them all that Feyre killed these twins in self-defense and fled. Feyre.
Lucien's voice was a hoarse rasp. I merely wiped my 2 knives on Dagden's back before going to reclaim my fallen pack.
You're going back to the Night Court.
I shouldered my heavy pack and finally looked at him.
Yes.
His tan face had paled, but he surveyed Ianthe, the 2 dead royals.
I'm going with you.
What?
Yeah.
He's gonna go and get his mate. He's gonna get his mate, even though she doesn't wanna fuck him.
He doesn't know that yet.
Yeah.
Maybe
But I
she
mean,
will.
look at Elain. You know, I feel like Elaine's not she's not rigorous for sex. it
You know,
doesn't
I
seem.
feel like when we get her book, we might learn some secrets about her. I feel
True.
like maybe she's the horniest one and we don't know yet. Isn't that fun?
Oh, that is fun. Yeah, you're right. You know what? That's crazy of me. Just because she's quiet and withdrawn does not mean that she doesn't lay it down like a boss.
Just because she dresses like a prude.
Yeah. You never know what happens
Under the skirts.
nude. under the skirts.
So Feyre tries to object, but he won't have it. And so she's just like, okay, don't make me regret this. So he's going to go get his mate back. And they leave. Their magic is all used up now, and so they run. They run and run all day, and now Feyre's plans have been screwed. She was just going to winnow back, but now they have to come up with a plan B.
Yikes.
They are deep in the forest, and Lucien's not even really sure what's going on at this point, and she's just like, I gotta get us the fuck out of here. So she decides she wants to go to a cave shortcut. But Lucien says, well, we're not going under the mountain. And he's like, we go through Summer Court. She says, I can't. There's blood ruby. I'll be killed on sight. We have Autumn Court. Lucien knows a place to hide on those grounds. He doesn't want to go, but it's going to have to do.
Lucien fell into step beside me as we strode beneath the archway of carved, crude stone, our blades out as we left behind the warmth and green of eternal spring. And in the distance, so faint I thought I might have imagined it, a beast's roar cleaved the land. The good roar. Oh my God, I thought Tamlin was here. Can you imagine how pissed he is?
So mad.
So pissed. That's what you get. That's what you get.
Things are going to go real bad for him for the next couple days.
Yeah, dude. That is what you get.
Yeah, and that's the end of part 1. We're going to go into part 2 next week.
Yes. Oh my God, so much happens in part 1.
Yep. And there's a lot more pages left.
Oh my God, we got to go back to the Night Court. We have to go back to Reed.
Yeah, but not yet.
No, not yet.
Some stuff's
We've got
gonna go
some
down.
Stuff to happen first.
And maybe they'll never make it back to the Night Court. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe the books end after this.
That would be weird.
That would be so weird. But until then, I'm going to be staring at pictures of Tony Mafood, and you should totally look him up so that you can thirst in the same way. God, does he have blue eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord. I'm fine. I'm taken, but I'm not dead.
He's nothing to compare to our men's.
No, our
It's
man.
true.
Yeah, it's true. We don't want him.
He just has the features of a Resant.
Yeah, which happens to be, attractive to some people.
Anyway, so we're
us.
going to go.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back next week.
Just as horny and nauseous as ever.
Yeah, y'all.